classes. So we are going to resume our direct taxation, international taxation for CA finance, CMA finance students. Okay, the last topic was of advanced pricing, and today's we are going to start equalization levy. Now we have to understand what is this equalization levy and when is this equalization levy imposed, okay, and whom the equalization levy is imposed. Okay, so when the transaction is done between whom? Between the consumer and business. Okay, through e-commerce the transaction is done. Okay, between whom? Between the consumer and the business over a network which is definitely using computer and telecommunication. Okay, this is what e-commerce means, right? Now I'll give you the example how we do this business. There are three distinct means of doing business. First of all, we all are aware about these social networking, like social sites like Amazon, right, Flipkart, Myntra, Meesho and all. Okay, so very first step, what is involved in the very first step of these when the business is done over these platform? Okay, the advertisement. Through advertisement, the advertisement is done through various different brands in this platform, right? So the very step involved is doing the advertisement through electronic advertisement, we can simply say that. Okay, second step is what? Placing the order by the consumer, by the customer, right, through these which is suitable for us, right? So sale transaction is involved, right? Once you place the order, which means the seller is going to sell the product, right? And sale is one of the transaction. Remember, sale, purchase, provision of service, lending, borrowing, cost of allocation and all, right? Remember, so sale is one of the transaction. Okay. Another thing, second step is to doing electronic sale. What is third step now? Third step, once this order is placed, the seller deliver the product to the consumer. Okay, so these are the three distinct means of doing business through electronic commerce. Number four step is electronic advertisement, second is for electronic sale, and third is for electronic delivery, which is advertisement, then sale is done, then delivery is done. Okay, section 163 of Finance Act. Remember, this act came through Finance Act, not through the Income Tax Act. Okay, so section 163 of the Finance Act 2016 says about the equalization levy. Okay, it's applicable to whole of India definitely, but except Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, let's read the other thing. Now these are the issue involving e-commerce transaction. Number first is of double taxation, right? Determination of PE, permanent establishment. Okay. Third, determination of taxable jurisdiction, no geographical barrier. Okay. Legal disputes, contractual dispute, diminishing revenues. Okay, so these are the simple issue which is involved in e-commerce transaction. Okay, we just read it. Okay. Now let's go to the main thing. When is equalization levy imposed actually? Okay, what is the rate of equalization levy and who is going to pay this equalization levy? To the government of India, right? So let's find out. Now equalization levy is imposed on some specified service. Now we have to understand the meaning of specified service right now. We want to know about this thing, but I'll let you know. Okay, before that, let us know that what is this transaction, why is this imposed. Okay, so when the transaction is done between non-resident, okay, a non-resident who is not having PE in India, a non-resident who is not having a PE in India and who is providing service is not effectively connected with his PE in India. Okay, let's say that if the non-resident is having the PE in India, okay, permanent establishment, he is having the PE in India, okay, but the business, the services which is provided by non-resident is not at all related, it's not effectively connected with that PE in India. Okay, in that case we will take only that P. Okay, what if he is having P in India, in that case we are not going to take that category in this place. Okay, so non-resident who is not having P in India, and what if he is having P in India? Okay, the P should not be effectively connected with these services which is provided by non-resident. Okay, now this non-resident is providing service to whom? To whom? To a resident. Okay, in India carrying on business or profession. Okay, this is first part. Okay, this is the first part. Or to a non-resident who is having P in India. The non-resident is simply doing transaction with two people. First one is resident of India and he's engaged in business or profession, right? Second, the non-resident is doing again transaction with non-resident who is having P in India, right? So if any of them, just a second guys, on the transaction, if the transaction between these two, okay, wait a second, on the transaction, if any of the amount of consideration is received or receivable by whom? Non-resident, of course, who is having not P in India, remember this part, right? So once he is doing transaction with these two parties, okay, and whatever the amount is received or receivable by non-resident, by again non-resident, okay, on that part the equalization levy is imposed. Now very first question comes, what is the rate? Okay, second question, who is the party going to pay the equalization levy and to whom, right? So 6% equalization levy is imposed. 6% equalization levy is imposed, but again if the aggregate amount of such consideration received by whom? Received by this non-resident, received or receivable for the specified service by the non-resident exceed 1 lakh in any of the previous year, okay? Which means the amount of consideration received by non-resident, right, which exceed in the previous year exceed more than 1 lakh, then only equalization levy of 6% is imposed. Is it clear everybody? Now who is going to pay this equalization levy? These two party, resident or a non-resident, is going to pay this 6% to the government. Okay, and this is to be deposited by next month 7th. It is to be deposited before 7th of next month. Okay, for example, transaction is done in August, right? So before 7th of September, the resident in India who is carrying on business or profession, or the non-resident who is having a P in India, have to deposit before 7th of next month, September, right? And what if the specified service consideration received by NR is not exceeding 1 lakh rupee? In that case, equalization levy is not going to impose. Okay, so let's go and read now. I told you about the specified service. Now we are going to read about the specified service. What are these specified service? Very first thing, online advertisement, provision of digital advertisement, space or any other facility or services for the online advertisement. And third, any other services notified by whom? The central government. So these are the specified services, right? Again, if non-resident is providing, right, specified services. Now is it clear? The non-resident is providing specified service to whom? To the resident, right? To the non-resident, right? Okay, the resident is doing simply business and profession, he is carrying on business and profession, okay, from that specified service. Second, again to the non-resident who is having P in India, okay, and the amount which is receivable or received as a consideration on that amount, if that amount during previous year exceeds more than 1 lakh rupees, in that case 6% of equalization levy is to be imposed. Is it clear everybody? Now we got to know about the meaning of specified service. What are meaning of specified service? Is it clear? Online advertisement, provision of digital advertisement space and all, okay, or any of the specified condition specified by whom? Central government. Any other services which is notified by the central government. Is it clear? Yes, I told you remittance of equalization levy is to be done. let's see, equalization levy deducted during any month to be paid to the credit to central government. It is to be paid to the credit of central government by 7th of next month. Remember, by 7th of next month. But what if somebody deduct it and do not deposit it to the central government by 7th of next month? In that case, let's check out what will happen. In that case, interest of 1% per month or part of month is attracted, okay, or the penalty. Again, there is penalty or nahi and. ठीक है, for delay remittance penalty at the rate of 1000 per day of failure attracted not exceeding amount of equalization levy not paid. Is this clear? Again, let me say, what if the remittance of equalization levy is not done before 7th of next month to the credit of central government? In that case, 1% or part of interest, right, is going to be imposed. Second, penalty of 1000 rupees per day, not exceeding the amount of equalization levy. Okay? Yes, this part is clear. Now let's go and find out non-chargeability of equalization levy. Right? Let's recall that if the amount is not exceeding, if the total consideration received or receivable by non-resident is not exceeding 1 lakh rupees, right? In that case, there would be non-chargeability of equalization levy. Okay. If the specified service is not for business purpose, right? If the specified service is not for business purpose, it is specifically used for personal purpose. For example, let's go for matrimony, right? duladhundo.com. Okay, I'm just taking the example. I don't know whether these apps do exist or not. So these are done for personal purpose, right? Shadi.com, matrimony.com, jo bhi dekho. Okay, dulhandhundo.com. Okay, so when the specified service is consumed for personal purpose, in that case, equalization levy is not going to be imposed. Is it clear, everybody? So let's find out now. The NR providing the specified service. Now we know the meaning of specified service. Okay, has a PE in India. The very first condition was that the non-resident who is not having PE in India. Is it okay? Is it clear? Hope this part was clear to you. Now the non-resident providing specified service having PE in India, definitely he will not be chargeable of equalization levy if he's having PE in India. Okay, and specified service effectively connected with such PE, right? The second thing, let's go for the second condition, is what was that written? Providing service not effectively connected with his PE in India, right? Now, what is this saying? First, the NR providing specified service has PE in India, and the specified service connected with such PE. Is it clear now? In that case, there would be non-chargeability of equalization levy. Okay. Let's go for the second condition. Aggregate amount of such consideration for specified service and received or receivable in the previous year. Okay, they are talking about the fully amount. Okay, not talking about the single transaction, not talking about the single consideration received by non-resident. Okay, they are talking about the fully consideration received in the previous year. Okay, by whom? Non-resident. From whom? Person resident in India and who is carrying business or profession, or the first part and second part. Non-resident, resident who is carrying business and profession. Second part was of non-resident who is having PE in India. Okay, non-resident, resident, again non-resident who is having PE in India. Don't confused. Okay, from a non-resident having PE in India does not exceed 1 lakh rupees. Okay, is that clear? Yes, this is super clear now. With a payment for specified service by a person in India or PE in India is not purpose for carrying out business or profession, which means personal purpose. He's using it for personal purpose. Matrimony.com, Shadi.com, Falana.com, everything. Okay. So hope this part was clear. Now let's go for the consequences of failure to deduct equalization levy. What if the non-resident, sorry, I'm not talking about the non-resident, the person who have to pay the equalization levy have not deposited the amount by 7th of next month? What are the consequences? What I told you, the interest of 1%, right? And second, penalty of ₹1,000. Very good. Chalo, let's read out. The person liable to deduct equalization levy has to, in any case, the equalization levy to be credit of CG by the 7th of next month. Right? Second, simple interest at the rate of 1% or part of month is attract. ठीक है. Third, for delays remittance penalty at 1,000 per day of failure attracted not exceeding the amount of equalization levy. I told you this thing. ठीक है. Now let's read out the other thing which is written. Furnishing of statement under section 167 of Finance Act. Remember 167 of Finance Act, not Income Tax Act. Here Finance Act 2016. We are talking about 2016 Finance Act. ठीक है. So let's read out. To be furnished, the statement should be furnished electronically and in form number 1 or before 30th June, immediately before the following of financial year. Is it clear? Yes. Rule 5, as per Rule 5 of Equalization Levy Rules 2016. What is the, can we go for the revised statement in this case? We know that for the SSC, we always go for if, like there is pillated written, there is revised written, right? So is there anything related to this? I mean, there is any revised statement? Yes, there is time limit for filing a revised statement. This is statement, ठीक है, and that is before expiry of 2 months, from the end of financial in which the specified service of e-supply or services were provided. Is this part clear? Yes, 2 years from the end of financial year in which the electronic supply of services were provided. Okay. Now, what is the time limit for filing statement in response to notice which is issued by assessing officer? ठीक है, within 30 days from the date of such service of such notice. ठीक है, is the time limit for filing a statement. This is as per Rule 6 of Equalization Levy. And what were the time limit for filing a revised statement? 2 years from the financial year, right? End of financial year. And before that, the statement is to be issued electronically 30th of June, before 30th of June, as per Rule 5, of Equalization Levy. ठीक है, this part we are going to do. Just I have to tell you something more about the Equalization Levy, then we'll come back to these 2 points. ठीक है, let's, okay. What were the section of this 165 of Finance Act 2016? Okay, there are 2 equalization levy. The very first was of section 165 of Equalization Levy 2016. ठीक है? Now we are going for the second part, okay, which is section 165A of Finance Act 2016. Okay. Now in the very first equalization levy under section 165, what we told that NR is providing specified service, right? NR was providing. In second case, in section under section 165A, who is going to provide a specified service here, right? The e-commerce operator. Who? The e-commerce operator. Is this part clear? Yes, this part is clear. Now, a non-resident who owns, we are again talking about non-resident. ठीक है, let's go out and read. A non-resident who owns, operates or manage digital or electronic facility or platform for online sale of goods or online provision of services or both. ठीक है, we know this about e-commerce operator. Who is e-commerce operator? ठीक है, and we already know a bit in this thing in the GST. ठीक है, okay. Now let's go for what? If the e-commerce operator is receiving the consideration by e-commerce supply of services, by whom? 3 people. To a person resident in India, to a person who is resident in India. ठीक है. Second part, to a person who buys such goods or services or both by using IPA located in India. For example, any other person who is a non-resident, ठीक है, who came to India and who is purchasing, who is buying such goods, who is consuming such goods or services by using IPA address location of India. ठीक है, he have placed the order by using the IPA address, the location of India. ठीक है, very first person was whom? To a person resident in India. First was a person who is resident in India. Second, to a person who buys such goods and services, or both by using IPA located in India. Okay? Now, here comes the third condition. To a non-resident in following specified circumstances, and they are sale of advertisement, targeting a consumer resident in India. Again, if the e-commerce operator, let's make it more clearer, okay? If the e-commerce operator, okay, he is providing the services to whom? To the non-resident, okay? To the non-resident. For which purpose? For what purpose? Is providing the sale of advertisement, which is to target a consumer resident in India. ठीक है. Second, वो access the advertisement through IPA located in India. Again, the e-commerce operator providing service to whom? To the NR in India, right? To what is that? The specified circumstances. They are sale of advertisement who are targeting the consumer of the India. ठीक है. Second, sale of data who access the advertisement through IPA located in India. ठीक है. Now let's go for the second condition, sale of data. Again, e-commerce operator, what he is doing, he is providing service, ठीक है, to non-resident. ठीक है, e-commerce operator is also non-resident. He is again providing service to whom? Non-resident. For what purpose? Sale of data collected from a person resident in India. ठीक है. To which he is providing service, sale of data collected. He is selling a data which is actually collected from the resident in India. ठीक है. In this case, equalization levy is going to impose. ठीक है. और वो uses IPA located in India. Is this part clear? So there are three conditions. Those who are falling in the category. Very first, the person who is a resident in India. ठीक है. Is this part clear? ठीक है. Or if any of the person buy any goods or services or both through the IPA located in India. Is this part clear? ठीक है. Second part be clear. Now let's go for the third. To a non-resident, equalization e-commerce operator to non-resident. For what? ठीक है. For sale of what? Sale of advertisement. ठीक है. Whose main objective is to target the consumer of India, the resident consumer in India. ठीक है. Or again वो access the advertisement through IPO. ठीक है. और sale of data, ठीक है, collected from a resident person in India. और वो uses IPA located in India. Is it part clear? So there are three categories of people. ठीक है. Now the equalization levy is going to be imposed on the consideration received by e-commerce supply or services. ठीक है. At rate of 2%. Earlier it was 165.6%. In 165A it is 2%. Now who is going to pay the equalization levy? Now we have to find out who is going to pay the equalization levy of 2% of consideration. ठीक है. Receive through e-commerce supply or services. Here the e-commerce operator is going to pay. Right? Earlier, who was going to pay? The non-resident was not paying, the resident or the non-resident who is having pay in India. Right? These two parties were paying the equalization levy at the rate of 6% if the the consideration received by the non-resident exceed 1 lakh in the previous year. ठीक है. But what are they saying? In this case, the consideration received through the e-commerce services, supply of services, is the equalization levy is to be imposed at the rate of 2%. By who is going to pay? E-commerce operator is going to pay. Is this part clear? Hope this part was clear. Now we have to find out what is e-commerce supply or services, right? The online sale of goods owned by e-commerce operator. ठीक है. Online provision of service similar है ना? So online provision of services provided by e-commerce operator. ठीक है, ऑनलाइन सेल ऑफ गुड्स और प्रोविजन ऑफ सर्विस और बोथ by the e-commerce operator. Is it clear? Yes, this part was cleared. Now let's go and find out. ठीक है, let's go and find no chargeability of equalization levy. When is going to be no chargeable of equalization levy? Let's find out. ठीक है, with the e-commerce operator making, providing or facilitating e-commerce supply or services has a P in India, definitely, and such e-commerce supply is effectively conducted. Same, ठीक है. And one more thing, if the person is using is already paid, ठीक है, 6% equalization levy under section 165, then the person will not pay the equalization levy of 2% in this 165A. Is this clear? Yes. Where the equalization levy is under section 165, ठीक है. And this is the third point, which says the sale turnover, the gross receipt, as the case may be, e-commerce operator from e-commerce supply or services made, provided or facility is less than 2 crore, is less than 2 crore rupee during the previous year. What are they saying? The sale turnover or the gross receipt, ठीक है, of whom? The e-commerce operator, from what? From the e-commerce supply or services. Is this part clear? It should be more than 2 crore during the previous year. Is this part clear? The turnover, right, or the gross receipt which exceed during the previous year of whom? The e-commerce operator. By what? The e-commerce supply or services, ठीक है. If it exceeds more than 2 crore, in that case equalization levy is going to impose. अच्छा, what was the consideration receivable? That was 1 lakh, ठीक है, by non-resident, ठीक है, but this is for about 2 crore, ठीक है. And in this case who is going to pay the equalization levy? The e-commerce operator, ठीक है. And that case those two parties, ठीक है, 6%, remember, under section 165, ठीक है. Okay, now what I told you that the payment of equalization levy is to be done before 7th of next month in case of 165 na, of 6% na. Now let's find out what is the payment of equalization levy under section 165A, ठीक है. The equalization levy is to be paid by every e-commerce operator to the credit of central government for the quarter of financial year by, they are going to pay, the e-commerce operator is going to pay the equalization levy on quarter basis, ठीक है. So June, again the next succeeding month, 7th of next month, ठीक है. But in this case the e-commerce is going to pay it on what basis? On quarterly basis of the financial year, ठीक है. 30th of June, 7th of July, the succeeding next month, or which is 7th of succeeding next month na, ठीक है. 30th September, 7th of October, 31st December, 7th of December, 31st of March, not 7th of April, ठीक है. Is this part clear? So there were 2 points which I left. Now let's go for this. Proceeding of statement under section 168 of Finance Act, ठीक है. The processing will be done in the same manner as processing of TDS statement is done, ठीक है. The processing will be done in the same manner as the manner is prescribed in TDS statement, ठीक है. Intimation shall be sent before the expiry of 1 year, okay, from the end of financial year statement is furnished. Now rectification, is this possible that rectification of mistake can be rectified? Yes, the mistake can be rectified under section 169 of Finance Act if when the assessing officer may amend any intimation within 1 year from the end of financial year in which intimation sought to be amendment was issued, ठीक है. Amendment can be made by suo motu or brought to notice by SSC, right, and e-commerce operator. Now we know about this term na. Earlier we didn't know about that. There was also one more point of equalization levy, ठीक है. Opportunity of being heard is given to both of the parties. Is this clear? SSC were off in the very first case, the resident of India who is doing business, right, or profession, or the non-resident who is having P in India, ठीक है, let's go for the next part, which says about the consequences of failure to pay the equalization levy. Acha, what was the consequence in 165? 1% or part of the month, and again 1000 rupees, which should not going to be exceed of equalization, actual equalization levy amount. ठीक है, so equalization levy under section 166A, same. ठीक है, simple interest of 1% per month or part of the month is attracted for the period of delay of remittance under section 170. ठीक है, and one more, penalty is equal to the amount of equalization levy that has failed to pay. Is this clear? Now, can the person, can the SEC, can the e-commerce operator can go for appeal in this case? Yes, they can go for the appeal. To whom? The Commissioner of Income Tax. The Commissioner of Income Tax. Within how much days? Within 30 days from the date of receipt of order of assessing officer. Right? The SEC or e-commerce operator can go for this within 30 days. But what is going to be the form? Form 3 with 1000 rupees. Is this part clear? Form 3 with 1000 rupees. ठीक है, but what if the SEC or the e-commerce operator is not satisfied by the order of Commissioner of Income Tax? Definitely they can go for to the appeal to the Appellate Tribunal. But how much days? Within 60 days. Within 60 days from the date on which the order saw to be appealed against is received by the SEC or e-commerce operator, ठीक है, or by the Commissioner of Income Tax. Form number 4. Again, fees of 1000 rupees. ठीक है, is this part clear? Fees of 1000 rupees and form 4. Exactly. ठीक है, is this part clear? So that's it guys, today's topic was of equalization levy. Hope you understand the meaning, the rate, and which rate is going to impose in which condition, ठीक है, who is going to pay the equalization levy and what is the rate, ठीक है, what was the time limit, and if the order is not satisfied by the order, the SSC can go for appeal, okay, and the time limit again. So hope this was clearer to you and you like the video. If you like the video, if you understand a bit, so please like the video and hit the like button and subscribe my channel.